Other times he started cursing and screaming and so forth.
Most observers believed Chikatilo's behavior in the courtroom was an act, an effort to gain sympathy. If found criminally insane, Chikatilo could be placed in a psychiatric hospital. If judged sane, however, he faced execution. In Russia, that meant a single bullet to the back of the head.
The definition of sanity and insanity from the legal point of view, which is an international definition and was used in the Soviet Union, was, can the person in question tell the difference between right and wrong?
The trial would continue for 6 months. Throughout, Chikatilo presented himself as a wretched victim of nature's indifference and a gruesome metaphor for Russia's 70-year failed social experiment.
When he was defending himself, he blamed Stalin, he blamed his parents, he blamed the cannibalism of the famine, he blamed the Communist Party, and he even blamed his own blood type.
Prosecutors would argue that Andrei Chikatilo was in fact the most calculating, diabolical killer of all time.
His crimes were sickening, but I don't think he was sick in the psychiatric or legal sense. Certainly not insane. He was more bad than he was mad, and he was certainly very crafty, but he wasn't crazy.
October 14th, 1992 would signify the day of reckoning for serial murderer Andrei Chikatilo. It had taken nearly 2 months for Judge Leonid Akobzhanov to write his final verdict.
Everybody knew he was going to be convicted. Everybody knew what the sentence was going to be. But there was, I guess, some value in going through the ritual.
Учитывая чудовищные злодеяния, что он творил, судебная коллегия не может не назначить ему единственное наказание, которое он заслуживает, исключительную меру наказания, и приговаривает его к смертной казни.
After a 12-year murder spree, final justice came swiftly. On February 15th, 1994, Andrei Chikatilo was escorted through the halls of Rostov prison and led to a private cell. There he was executed by a single shot behind the right ear. In the aftermath of his execution, writers, reporters, and victims' families attempted to find some trace of humanity in Andrei Chikatilo. But in many ways, this man, who committed extraordinarily cruel crimes, remains an enigma.
He spoke himself of some of his motivations, and yet when you hear any single explanation, it never rings with sufficient truth to explain the hideous crimes that this man committed.
Having seen the dead bodies of so many victims, it may have seemed natural for me to hate him. And that is what I felt until Chikatilo was finally captured. At that point, I realized that Chikatilo wasn't in control of what he was doing. He was a very sick person, acting against his will.
Whether you believe that he was the victim of the circumstances under which he was born, or whether you believe he was an evil person who used free will to do what he did and wanted to kill, that evil that grew in him is not something that's alien to all of us.
Perhaps the final judgment on the life of Andrei Chikatilo was written by the killer himself, an expression of guilt and self-loathing that at the same time hints at his gruesome, violent nature. And now my brain should be taken apart, piece by piece, and examined, so there wouldn't be any others like me.